Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. I'm not super proud of my eating habits lately. And in particularly, last week, I kind of went off the ropes. I haven't been in the mood to want to make lunch for myself. I've been in the mood to buy lunch. And not because, there's something that I want to try or something that I want to eat in particular, but just, the fact that, making lunch for yourself and eating the same thing, in my case, just a sandwich, some almonds, chips, and a bottle of water can be pretty mind-numbing and pretty boring. And I think that happens with a lot of people. So I decided to go out to eat last week, pretty much all week. And I decided to get Chipotle. Not once, but twice. And I'm not like some kind of crazy Chipotle hater because apparently they have only an allegiance to authentic Mexican food and that's it. No, I love all food. I definitely think that authentic Mexican food, in terms of burritos and tacos is, obviously the best of the kind. But I'm not going to discriminate and say Chipotle is not good. It is, in fact, good. But, it's good for Chipotle standards. There's no way, shape, and form that one of those burritos is going to beat out a taqueria burrito or a taco truck burrito or even like any like a burrito at an authentic Mexican restaurant. No chance, no way in hell. But as for Chipotle standards, it's pretty freaking good. So I ended up going there twice, and I always get a burrito. I'm not too much of a bowl guy. Normally, I feel like the bowl kind of gets a little too cold too quickly once you take the top off, and it just kind of loses the heat, and it just becomes kind of cold. I feel like with the tortilla, at least it kind of keeps in that warmth a little bit more than just the little lid on the bowl. And once you take off the lid, it's over. So I'm a burrito guy. I'm a burrito white rice pinto bean type of man. Pretty straightforward. I like to get steak. And normally I get the hot salsa, the red salsa that they have at Chipotle. But ever since I started to get it, I've always kind of wanted to replicate the taco truck burrito, but you can't really do that at Chipotle. But that red salsa that they have at Chipotle is pretty close to the red salsa that they have at taco trucks. And I always just, got it just because, it tasted good. But ever since, I started to get it, I always knew in the back of my mind that they always put a little too much and it's always super hot, Now, I had two options. One, I could ask for less salsa and be a little B-word about it, and complain and be like a Karen type of person, or I could switch it up. I can explore the other salsas, and I can try something different. See if I even like it better. What if I do? What if I discover a new flavor or a new combination that I've never even thought of before? So I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just give it a shot. So normally I say the hot sauce. This time I went medium. I went an entire notch down. And if you don't know what the medium salsa is, it is it's the green one. And the green one, I'll be damned. I can't like lie about it to you guys. It actually tasted pretty good. Yeah, there was definitely some heat. There is not. It's not like a overpowering heat like the red sauce in my opinion is, but it's a nice heat, and it complements that Chipotle flavor, and actually made the burrito, in my opinion, even better than I've ever experienced. Like no kidding. Like I've been maining the hot salsa ever since I went to Chipotle, but now this new green mild or medium salsa, is it medium? is it mild, medium, and then hot? I think that's the scale. And then they got the corn salsa as well. But I think it goes mild, medium, and hot. So I went with medium, and I gotta tell you, man, I mean, it just, it makes it even better in my opinion, and more tolerable. You know what you get with burritos sometimes if they're not made properly, or maybe they're made properly, but it's just the laws of gravity that we all have to suffer with, is the poolage at the bottom of the burrito. That always, it tends to happen with like any, non-solid condiment or non-solid item, whether it be sour cream, salsa. I think that's it that you put in a burrito, possibly. Maybe, yeah, that might be it. Any type of juices that just kind of fall to the bottom of the burrito. In my case, it would always be full of the salsa that would just fall, and it would make the last few bites of the burrito, kind of painful. And I'd be like, all right, here we go. I gotta finish it. Let's go. Did I say like it's my goal is to finish it? It's just like, well, I'm still hungry and I want to finish it, so let's go. Let's get it. But when you add the medium salsa, again with that nice little kick that enhances the chipotle flavor, I mean, I'll be damned, man. I mean, it's just it's a nice little find in the book of Alex. It's a nice little, I guess not a hack, but a cool little find. I guess you could say hack or Easter egg in the book of Alex. And it's a great, finding for his character and his development and his journey throughout this life. Cracking the code on the chipotle salsa that doesn't leave him in tears and sniffly at the end. Because I gotta tell you this, man. Every time I would eat like chipotle and even just spicy food in general, right? My nose just, drips and runs. It's kind of like just like, I guess, my reaction to spicy foods. You know how it clears your sinuses? That's what happened, It just, the waterworks start to happen and you can't control it. And I usually, when I go to Chipotle, for lunch, I tend to eat there more than take it home. So, I have to deal with, public scrutiny if I have to blow my nose or if I'm sniffly. You almost kind of don't want to use the napkins that you're using to wipe your mouth. Also wipe your nose or, dab up your nose a little bit, because it's just, you could add the salsa to it. It could also, to other people that are there, you might seem like you're a child or an animal, for that matter. And you want to look your best, even though, I'm not a huge, person of manners at the table in terms of eating food. People like to say like, eat like a gentleman at the table, but it's hard for me to do that. It really, really is. So, I get food on my face and I just, I wipe it off as quick as possible. If I feel it, of course. If I don't feel it, then, if no one's there to tell me, you better believe it's not going to go away until, I find it or I smell it or I taste it, something happens. So, that's the case. That's just who I am, though. I'm also finding out that spicy, spicy food is actually, not really my thing. I always like to talk up a game that I enjoy spicy food, but I guess a better term is to say spicy with flavor. Like I enjoy a good salsa because it's not only just spicy, but it's got flavor in it. And, sometimes with that Chipotle burrito, I get with that salsa, just a lot of spice and that's it. And it, not to say that it's not good as a combination. It's good, but I think the medium sauce is better. But when I'm talking about like actual spicy food, like, spicy wings or spicy food challenges, and I've never done, well, I've attempted a wing from a Buffalo Wild Wings from the blazing heat level of their sauces. I've attempted one wing, and it kind of just made me, want to die. Just the intensity of that heat in that, boneless wing. It doesn't, like, you don't forget it quickly, and I haven't. And every time I eat something that's, spicy, not even like remotely close to that level, but still pretty spicy, I'm like, I don't enjoy this feeling. I don't like how my tongue is just on fire. I don't like how I'm like sweating, how I have to like drink water all the time, or like inhale and try to cool off my tongue. Like, it's just not a good feeling. And luckily, I haven't eaten anything remotely that hot, super, super, super hot. But even like, little yellow peppers that you can get at In-N-Out with your burger, I would eat one of those and I'd be freaking dying. Like, I guess I just can't handle heat as much as other people that I know. And for one, I feel like you would look at me and you'd be like, yeah, he can kind of handle some heat. Like, he's got some, he's exotic enough to handle heat. He could do it. And I think of that myself too. But, sometimes if a jalapeno pepper popper, for that matter, is not de-seeded well enough, I'm going to feel it. And I'm going to be just absolutely losing it, because, I mean, it kills me so fast. And I'm like, wow, this is like a jalapeno. It's not even that high on the scale of heat, right? Yet it is killing me, and I can't do anything, right? Like, I can only drink water right now and just inhale and exhale to cool off my tongue. Like, it's pathetic almost, I guess, I'm just more of a flavored heat guy. Like salsas, a good spicy chili verde sauce, but, obviously with the flavors of the tomatoes and all that, I'm in for that. Enchiladas that have a little kick to them too. Tacos and burritos and adding some salsa, I like that stuff. But like, if it's gonna be like purposely hot, just to be hot, I mean, I don't know if, like, I'm not the person to call up if you want someone to help you with a spicy food challenge. I'm just not gonna be that guy. You're not that guy, man. It's also like something that I've tried to convince myself that I'm actually good at. Like, I'm actually good at eating spicy foods. And I've told people this many, many times that I can handle spicy. But I guess when they think of spicy, they think of something far much greater than what I can handle. And their spicy becomes is my extreme spicy. And my extreme spicy, is just their basic ass spicy. I don't know. Like, I don't believe like people just like munch on jalapenos just for the fun of it, right? I've never even had a habanero. Not once in my life. I think I've had like a habanero taco from Taco Bell with habanero sauce, but like nothing like an actual, legitimate habanero pepper. Like, I'd be too scared to do that. Like, my sister likes that kind of stuff. Like, she's gotten like habanero wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I've tried them, and I'm like, how do you eat this? Like, this isn't even enjoyable. Like, this is like too hot for you to consume. And it's especially worse when you're hungry too, because when you're hungry and the food is too spicy, you want to eat more of it, but it's like your brain's like, bro, if you take another bite, you're gonna die. We're absolutely going to die. And I'm afraid, like, when people eat, like, those hot chips or those ghost peppers or even habaneros, like, just raw peppers, what it could do to their stomach, Because it hurts my tongue going down. Like, I'm in pain. I'm numb. And once it hits your stomach, like, God, thank God, like, your stomach acid is spicy, is strong enough to break all that stuff down. But, like, what if it wasn't? What if it was, like, not enough and strong enough to that way you feel like that heat in your stomach? And now I've never had that experience, but I would assume that, it gets pretty hot down there and possibly even hot on the way out. I couldn't imagine that either. Like, it's killing me on the way in. On the way out, it's got to be even worse. Knock on wood, I never have to do these, spicy food challenges for my will to live, or my privilege to live. That would really suck. That'd be quite the torture scene, instead of waterboarding, making you eat spicy foods until you die. Could you imagine that? I couldn't. I wouldn't want that. Instead of, like I said, waterboarding, maybe those bad people that do bad things to people in forms of torture and stuff like that should maybe, well, I'm not going to give any bad people ideas, but like that would be a terrible idea. That'd be a terrible thing to torture somebody by using hot food. I mean, that'd be awful. I remember that movie Zero Dark 30 when it came out, and people were going nuts about it because of how much torture that was in the movie. Even though it was a movie and wasn't real, I guess like how much they showed of like waterboarding and torturing, and people were just outraged about that. And I was like, well, it's a lot, but like they're trying to depict like the real life realism of that conflict, of what these people go through and how we, do business. And I guess if we're showing a little too much of like what, people do in this movie, people kind of think that, oh, are we good people if we do this? Well, it's like, that's hard to, navigate. That's hard to talk about, especially when you're like me and just watch the movies, that's all I do. I'm not a soldier. I've never been a part of that. So it's like, I don't know. I just watch it for entertainment. It makes great entertainment. Speaking of which, did you know that Chris Pratt was in Zero Dark 30? Yeah, I had no idea until maybe a year or two after I saw the movie. I was like, wow, this is like one of his more serious roles. I think this was like maybe like during when he was filming Parks and Recreation, like right before Guardians of the Galaxy, right before he got like big time, became a big star. But he was in that. I was like, whoa, shit, he's in this. This is crazy. But also like another thing that also kind of terrifies me about like the food business in general, and not just like Chipotle or, whatever. It's any place, whether it be fast food, restaurant, diner, food truck even, food trucks, is chicken. And not because, I don't like chicken. I love chicken. I think that chicken is quickly becoming my favorite protein, because you can do so many things with chicken. You can boil it, you could fry it, you could grill it, you can bake it, you could chop it up, you can put it into a sandwich, a salad, you can put it on pizza, you can put chicken is tacos, you can put it on like a lot of stuff, chicken. And it's a good tasting meat too. Like you can make it, season it, marinate it, cook it to the way it tastes amazing. Like it's just like a meat that you can do so much with. And like, the thing is that, you just gotta be, when you're a chicken boy like me, you have to take into the consideration, like I'm going to a restaurant. There is a good chance that this chicken is either bad or undercooked in a way where I could, potentially get salmonella or get sick. I've had like instances where I had a Chipotle burrito. I got that new pollo asado, and shortly after, I didn't feel very well. Now it was just a little stomach bug, and then the morning after, I felt a lot better. But like, it could have been worse. It could have been salmonella. It could have been food poisoning. It could have been something bad. And I think just being a chicken boy and ordering a lot of chicken, I feel like whenever I order chicken anywhere, I'm taking a big gamble. More of a gamble than if you were just to get like a beef or even pork. There's just something about chicken. You just got to cook it perfectly, or you got to cook it at least you can't. It can't be like any pink. You can't risk that kind of salmonella poisoning or whatever you call it. And you can get that with every meat, right? Like beef and pork and all that. But it's so prominent in undercooked or bad chicken that, whenever I order chicken, I'm always like, all right, this is a gamble here. I know it is, but I'm willing to do it. Because I love chicken. Like I said, I've been so into chicken that when I go to burger places like McDonald's, I mainly order the McChicken. Or when I go to restaurants, I also order their chicken sandwiches, or I order fried chicken. I just, it's just become my go-to thing. It's also healthier for you than beef or pork. So it's like kind of a win-win, You could do a lot of things with chicken, and you could eat healthier. I mean, like, for me, it's a win-win. But there's always that gamble. And I'm just willing to gamble every time. I always tell myself, like, what if I didn't get the chicken? What else would I get? If I was at McDonald's, I would get the quarter pounder with cheese. If I was at a restaurant, probably a steak or like maybe some tacos, a pork chop, whatever. A burger. It's just like, but my love of chicken just, blinds me, and I just want to keep eating it because to me, it's just one of the better proteins out there. If you cook it well. Some people who like all they do is eat chicken, I can see where you would get very tired of it, but you eat boring chicken. Like if you ate like fried chicken or, grilled chicken that's like got good seasoning, or baked chicken, or chicken, in like burritos and tacos or pizza, that shit's good. You can eat that every day. I love a good buffalo chicken dip. And I've only had it from Trader Joe's, but man, that shit's fire, man. That shit is fire. I mean, like, it is such a great idea, right? To take buffalo chicken and make it into a dip with, dipping it with tortilla chips. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is super heavy, right? It's got cream in there too, and like sour cream, I think. It is super heavy, but it's so good. And you couldn't even do that with any other beef or any other meat, I think, to make that into a dip, right? Like, it's solely based off of chicken. It's like shredded, ground up chicken. And like, could you even do that with a steak or a pork chop or lamb or any other type of meat? I don't think you could. Maybe turkey, but turkey's got that flavor that's like specifically like, for me, it's like, it kind of like throws me off whenever I taste that flavor when it's not on like a Thanksgiving plate or a sandwich. Like even with turkey burgers, I'm like, this tastes just like Thanksgiving dinner, but it's not. Or even like a ground turkey with rice or something like that. It's like, oh, this tastes, just like Thanksgiving. Or a sandwich. Like, I can put this in a sandwich and it would taste exactly how I would expect it to. But chicken, you can even make chicken sandwiches. Chicken parmesan. Hello. It's just so good. There's even, for breakfast, since fried chicken was so popular, you have chicken and waffles. I mean, how incredible is that? There wasn't really a chicken dish for breakfast, I think, until chicken and waffles. There was a country fried steak, and that was just a steak copying a way of cooking chicken, but for a steak. But now we have, chicken and waffles, which is essentially, it is now, could be considered a breakfast food item, which, I bet people didn't think that would be possible, but it is. Excuse me real quick while I grab my water. Sorry, that took a while. I had to, weave my way through this setup I got here. It's a little cramped, but I got my water. I can't believe I started this podcast episode without my water. I normally have it with me at all times. Not today, though. I guess I had chicken on the mind. Chicken tenders, chicken fingers, chicken strips, chicken thighs. Remember when Wingstop ran out of wings or had a wing shortage and they had to use thighs? I would have definitely loved to try those because you get more meat. And if you get that wing sauce on a chicken thigh, I mean, that's got to taste amazing, right? I don't think that they still sell them, but if the next time I try Wingstop or go to Wingstop, I'll see if they do, because that's a good idea. I mean, buffalo wing sauce on a chicken thigh. Now that is an idea there. They should have kept that permanently if they already, if they haven't, but they probably do. But that's also my gift and my curse though about being a chicken guy is, you walk around like this is the best meat of all time, or it's the best tasting meat, the best meat for the most variety of food items that you can make. But also, you can get pretty sick if it's not proper, cleaned, or it's not cooked right. You can get sick pretty easily. Like, you could eat certain raw meats, raw fishes too. Sushi. You can get steak, pretty rare. You can get steak tartare. Not raw pork though. I don't think that you can eat raw pork, but I don't think that you can eat raw pork. But of course, sushi, raw fish, and then pretty rare steak. People like it pretty rare, so that's technically raw still. And then steak tartare, which is raw beef. But that's it's chicken. No way, no how. You can't fuck around with chicken being raw or a little, medium rare chicken. You like a little pink in that chicken, that's gonna cost you, man. Speaking of costing and not costing, I was actually, this is gonna be some nerd shit right now. I was actually playing Halo Infinite, today actually, and I completed the battle pass for the Halo Infinite, and with like 80 days left to actually beat it, and I was like at level 86 when I logged on today, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna level up like 5 times and use this double XP tokens. I ended up doing the entire thing and just completing it because I was bored. I had nothing else to do. I'm like, you know what, let's just do it. Fuck it. And when I completed it, and I saw what I had to the unlocks that I had, I looked at what was in the battle pass and what I had unlocked, and I just thought, wow, this is like not even remotely cool at all. Like none of these armor things, none of these coatings, none of these helmets, none of these little patches, these charms, these emblems are cool at all, in my opinion. And I was thinking to myself, like, I just wasted so much time on shit that I don't even want. And I feel horrible about it. And I think that, if you're a nerd and you play a lot of Halo, and you're looking at Halo right now, and you see how absolutely, empty it is. Like, believe me, it is empty. It's an empty game right now. Like, super empty. There's not much to do in it. Like, you just take the basic multiplayer. I guarantee you, if they had like a proper ranking system for like a career basis, like your career rank, it would be so much better than what it is right now. At least it would make me, want to play it and want to, level up my guy, instead of this, only battle pass really rank and only like a ranked playlist rank that's all you have to look forward to. Just bring in like a universal ranking system. Bring that in. Bring it back like the career rank or whatever. Like that would be so much better for players, like me who just kind of play for fun, mostly for fun. Well, except today I decided, to just complete the battle pass because I was so close. Even though I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to, but I'm like, you know what? I'm already right. I'm like right there, and I can bang it out like in these couple hours. So I did, but I didn't feel good about it. And also, like, their store is also a big thing that pisses me off. So they have this thing where they cycle through what they offer in the store. Every couple days the store refreshes, and this is what you can buy. This is what you are allowed to buy at this time. And I think that it is so, 343 for them to dictate the way you actually spend your in-game currency. Like it wasn't just one thing with the challenges, and this is how we are going to allow you to rank up in your in the battle pass and complete, tiers of the battle pass. It wasn't that thing. It wasn't just that. They don't want to control you on how you play the game to upgrade in the battle pass. And by the way they have these challenges set up, how they essentially dictate how you play their game, is actually sickening. Like, luckily for challenge swap, but if you could not swap it enough and you were stuck within these couple challenges, it's like it makes you play in a certain way that doesn't really lend itself to teamwork or actually wanting to win games. It's actually incredibly disgusting. I don't know what that mindset was, but we're still here. We're almost an entire year into this game, and nothing has changed, really. I mean, a couple things have, gotten a lot less strict in terms of the challenges and what you have to do to level up in the battle pass, but essentially it's still the same way. They still make you do, play the game that they want you to play it in order to advance and to progress, which I don't get at all. Like, why would anybody want you to do that? Is because they have such a stupid system that they want you to feel like the battle pass is actually, it's hard to do, or that it takes a while for you to do it. It's like, why would you even make a game like that? Why would you ever do such a thing where you actually control how players play your game in terms of wanting to progress? Because after a while, when you play Halo Infinite, you kind of want that feeling of I'm actually working towards something, and I'm actually working towards something that I want and what I think is cool, and that the whole thing of this battle pass and how it works is just so phony and so silly and so like actually anti-player is actually disgusting. And back to the point of the store, and they cycle through these armor coatings and little, emblems that you could buy. You can't just go in and buy and look at the entire catalog of the store. You have to wait, and maybe they'll put it in the following couple days or weeks or whatever. And it just is like, wait a minute. So you're dictating how I play your game and also dictating how I want to spend the money for your game. Like, it's to me, this game is so anti-gamer and anti-consumer that it's come to the point where, like, I mean, like, this has just been a year of them, having the game in this state and nothing really changing. Like, I mean, maps are one thing, content is one thing, but the basic function of how the game is being played and how a ranking system is, implemented, the fact that it hasn't changed at all is so remarkable to me. It's actually, not just remarkable, but like ultimately disappointing in how it just hasn't even, nothing has really changed. And it's like, how can anyone who plays this game or who likes Halo remotely, even a little bit, think that this game is going to get better? I like to tell myself that it will be better because, the co-op campaign will be coming out, I think, by the end of this year or close to it. So that would be cool. That's gonna be fun to play with the boys. To just have a little bit of fun in something that isn't multiplayer, and to go back and to play that campaign again, because I haven't really had a reason to do it. But I think with friends and up to four players, I think that would give me enough incentive to play it again, for sure. That I've thought about it, and it's like, that'd be pretty fun. Why not? That'd be sick. But in terms of like being excited to play Halo Infinite, I haven't really had that since it came out. I'll be honest with you. They've had a couple cool modes like land grab They brought back King of the Hill, which is actually pretty fun in Halo Infinite. Last Spartan Standing is pretty weak. I mean, it's definitely fun, like a fun little game mode to play, except when they make you play it for the challenges and for the XP, then it just becomes a chore, and then it's like I don't even enjoy playing the game permanently, like at all. So it's a weird spot. It's a really weird spot, and it makes me think that what made them do this? Was it like I truly don't know why they made their game the way they did. It's almost like why did they make, why were they going to make Battlefront 2 the way that they wanted to? Remember how like back in the day that they some nerds did the math and it was like, well, if you actually spend this much amount of playtime playing and doing super well, you would have to play so many hours for you to unlock one of the legacy characters like Darth Vader. And once that was found out, they had to backtrack quickly and make it so everybody could get it pretty easily. And there were so many people that were, against it and it had a bad taste in their mouth, and it was just like, it was a bad thing, This is on a completely different level where they just make you play their game the way that they want you to. And honestly, like, I don't know, like, who makes that decision, or who thinks that this would be a fun thing to do, but like, it just baffles me. It baffles me, and it's just like, and it scares me too, is because if these people are still going to make and continue to develop this game, what's say that they, don't completely get rid of this the way that they play the game, the way that they make you play the game, is that going to go away? What if they add a battle royale mode and it's just more of this, What if they never add a, career rank, and it's like, why have any of this stuff not come out yet? I swear, man, this whole gaming industry has just been in an absolute pretzel since COVID happened. Well, COVID's pretty much over. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, what's happening? Do you just have no employees? Does nobody want to work for you? Like, what's going on here? And it's not just Halo, but Call of Duty as well. I mean, like, I know they're ramping up for the hype for MW2, which I can't wait for as well. But Warzone's also kind of like, not really much has changed. There's some new stuff, but you gotta buy it and shit. But like, it's more of the same. It just feels like it's like, they're just kind of coasting and sticking to this model of, battle pass and all that. And I just feel like, with battle passes, it's just like, they might be coming to an end, I think. I really do. I don't think that people really want to spend that measly $10 for some bullshit stuff that you just rank up and you get, when it's like not even, to me, the past couple of Warzone seasons, maybe like the past like 4 or 5, actually no, even more than that, dating back to Black Ops Cold War, those past seasons have just not even been good at all, in my opinion. Like, the stuff that's in it is just not good. It's just really just like, it's not something that you want to, spend and work for, And I know that the battle passes are like probably one of the bigger draws of money that they receive, because, you can get people like me who don't buy like any bundles or anything like that, or any single items on their store, but will like pretty much religiously buy battle passes just because, you get more XP that way. And even though like it's only $10, right? But like it's supposed to last like that entire season, which would be about a month and a half or 2. It's just, it's becoming the content itself in those battle passes is becoming less and less worth it, in my opinion. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me waking up and being like, you know what, this is just not this is not really a sustainable model. I feel like I'm getting bored of it, like, more and more, but I'm really honed in on my boredom right now. So it's like, maybe it's just me that I'm just like, I'm seeing how it just, nothing has changed, and nothing is good, right? And it's just like, and it feels like everything is just so half-assed right now. That probably shouldn't. We shouldn't still be in this gaming limbo. Where literally all I'm looking forward to this gaming season, this fall season, is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt remaster or optimization. That's what I'm looking forward to. I don't give a damn about Overwatch, about anything Fortnite or Apex, because they're all just the same bullshit. Season, battle pass, it's like give me a break. I would much rather have DLCs again. That way I know that at least the stuff that they worked on, whether it be, good or not so good, at least they gave it more of an effort. That way you have to buy it. And I know that, that the battle pass is good because it doesn't, really block people from playing certain things or having access to certain things like it used to back in the day with map packs and all that, But I think that we're beyond that now. I think that maps come out for free, whether you have a battle pass or not. And, if you want to buy bundles, if you want to buy cool things, if you want to buy that, yeah, you totally could. But if you're going to do a season-long battle pass for $10, and I know it's just $10, and this is going to be towards Halo. Don't dictate the way I do it. The way I can rank up in it. Like, don't make me do all that. And especially with their battle pass Halos, put a little bit more effort into what you put out there. You've been on the ropes pretty much your entire launch. I don't know what has happened to you. Why your game feels so empty. Even to this day, just feels empty. I just, you got to be better. And the fact that you haven't gotten rid of the way you rank up in the battle pass with XP is mind-boggling. It's telling me that you don't care. You don't want to move away from that model or that method of ranking up, and it's just like, it's very concerning to me. It doesn't make me feel good. And in terms of Call of Duty, I feel like for me, I just need a new game, a fresh start. I mean, Warzone has been, it's been the same game essentially since 2020, since March 10th of 2020 when it first launched. It's been the same game. You could say like, oh, they got new modes, they got new maps. They have smaller maps and plunder and all that. It's the same damn thing. It has not changed one bit. It's the same, player count, the same types of maps, even though they're different. Same ways you play the maps. There's not really anything out there that has truly made it, different maps. I know they had the doors, now they have balloons, but it's essentially the same thing. You play it the same way. People play it the same exact way. And it's just been the same for like almost 3 years, like I've said. So I think with Call of Duty, it's just I need a new game. And thankfully it's happening. Maybe Warzone gets a complete rehaul of the way it's used. Maybe they go down. Maybe they actually make it a smaller player count to make it more of an intense game, maybe not so, big. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't necessarily need my battle royales to be bigger, right? Bigger doesn't always mean better for a battle royale. Maybe go smaller. Maybe make it more compact, make it more intense. Maybe not so, in a way campy or in a way like arcadey like. Maybe make it different. Make it not, how it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just because we've been playing Warzone for years and it literally hasn't changed really. But hopefully Modern Warfare 2's Warzone is a complete revamp, because I feel like that's what it needs. It just needs a revamp. or even a remake or redo, just new, completely new. Make it new. And you know what? I actually hope that mode, the rumored mode, the knockoff Escape from Tarkov mode, DMZ, is a hit. Because if you can get multiplayer, solid, battle royale, solid, and then a pretty decent Escape from Tarkov mode, like an extraction mode, that's intense and cool and lit, I mean, then you got, more variety than ever before. Let's face it, zombies is dead. No one fucking plays zombies. I think we can stop developing zombies. I'm just saying I don't think anybody really gives a shit about zombies, or enough people give a shit for you to keep making zombies. I mean, you had zombies in Black Ops, and you had zombies in Vanguard. The only reason I know that is because I've actually been playing Vanguard to level up weapons for Warzone. And I'm like, I saw on the tab, like, campaign, multiplayer, zombies. I'm like, zombies? This shit had zombies? I think we can get rid of that. All right, let's stick with multiplayer, battle royale, and then this extraction DMZ mode. All right, let's focus on that and make it actually lit. And don't pull a Battlefield 2042 when you give up development on your Tarkov mode. I forget the name of what it was even called for Battlefield. Hazard Zone. Yeah. Let's forget that even happened, right? Because they quit on it. So Call of Duty, if you can make 3 sick lit modes like that, and have different varieties and different styles of play, and different, to bring in different types of, players and offer different experiences, like for multiplayer, battle royale, and this extraction mode, your game's going to be lit. And it's going to add more variety. That's what we need right now. It's just variety. We don't have that, and we need it. I need it. I'm dying here. Especially because I still like Warzone. But I want my friends to come back and play Warzone. They're sick of this Warzone. They want a new one. And I don't blame them. I wish that they would play with me, but they don't want to anymore. So please make a game that's new and fresh that will get people back into it. As much as, we could talk day and night that Warzone's probably still the most twitched game out there. It probably is. Let me just check real quick if I can. It's got like 56.1 viewers on right now. Apex is beating it because I think Apex just got a new season. But yeah, just like, come on, boost it up. Let's get a variety going. Come on. It's pretty boring out there. I gotta say, if you're a Call of Duty fan, it's pretty boring out there right now. But moving on. Why not? Talk a little bit about sports right now. Because there's been a couple things that have been in the news that have actually been kind of shocking to me. For one, in the baseball world, Fernando Tatis Jr., for the overrated San Diego Padres, has been suspended 80 games for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs, which he claims that he used to treat ringworm on his neck. I thought that this was, well, out of baseball, kind of, like, at least for the most part, like, big stars or the majority of players just know to stay away from this kind of stuff because, you can get tested, whenever they want to, or, if there's even like a testing calendar of when you're supposed to be tested. And if that's even like a thing in baseball, I mean, why would you even take the PEDs? Also, you're not even playing right now, Fernando. So, like, I mean, what was the point of that? And, you can go ahead and say, like, you were using it to treat ringworm. I'm not a doctor, and I know that the people on TV are not doctors, but I feel like that they would have a better opinion and access to those doctors. And if those doctors are disputing your claims on how to treat ringworm, I think that you're full of shit, man. And not only are you full of shit, but, like, you kind of let your team down a bit. I mean, I know that you've been out for the entire season, with an injury, and I know that they like to talk you up about being like a premier player of this game. I think you're all right. I mean, you're not incredible, but like, you are very good and you're a big name out there. But, this isn't going to help at all. And not just you, but it's not going to help your team either. I'm pretty sure that your team was counting on you to be there. To want to, not just for your team, but for the fans too. I mean, I couldn't even count how many fans were excited to see Machado, Soto, and Tatis on the same, in the same lineup on the field together. And you've robbed them of that this entire season when they were waiting for you desperately to return. So, not a good look, man. Not being very responsible. I mean, as a Dodgers fan, this is actually incredible news because now we don't have to deal with your ass for the rest of the season and even the playoffs. So this is a blessing in disguise for me. But yeah, it's just not a good look. I mean, really, steroids still in this era in 2022 when testing for this type of stuff is even more advanced than ever. And you know how baseball is with that kind of stuff. They let it go in the past. They let it happen for a long time. They got caught. They had to switch their tone. It's like, and they had to because that's cheating. And if you're going to, blatantly use them to either speed up your recovery, which I don't know if it's, I didn't know that was a thing, or if it is, or, if you continue to use them on the field, then it becomes like, what are you doing? Like, you should know that they're going to be testing you for this kind of stuff. You're a big time player, right? It's just sometimes players even get randomly tested because they perform so well the day before. They're like, okay, we got to test this guy because if he's, in any way, shape, or form cheating with steroids, he's going to be suspended. And, baseball, being the sport that it is and how it had to change its tone on steroids and how, because they let players get away with it and do it, for many, many years. And now them being so anti-steroid, you should have known what the punishment was going to be, for taking PEDs. Is just, I could have even known that. It's the MLB and steroids. You just stay away from steroids, man. And, I'm not a baseball player. I'm not an athlete. I'm not going to sit here and be like, not know what kind of mindset you were in or what kind of position that you might have been in because I'm no athlete, right? I don't train this many days a week for this many hours to perfect a sport. In this case, one of the hardest sports I believe to play is baseball, with all the timing and all that, upper body strength, lower body strength, reflexes, vision, decision making. It's a lot of stuff to go into baseball, and I'm not going to be the one to sit here and just be like, and tell you that you weren't in the position to do them. But I think as a player in general, baseball and steroids, just a bad combination. And you need to eliminate one of those or both. And if you're not going to eliminate steroids, and you're not going to eliminate baseball, then you're going to get caught. And then you're going to get a pretty big suspension. And not just a suspension, but a suspension for a thing that in your sport has a stigma that is so negative that there's absolutely no tolerance for it. Right? There is no tolerance for steroids in baseball, as in any sport, but in baseball in particular, it's just you should have known that by now. I mean, I'm sorry the one to tell you that you should have known it, but you should have known it. Something a little bit more fun in sports. Quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, has a bust of Nick Cage in his locker room in training camp right now. And, if you don't know Nick Cage, he's an incredible actor. He's known to be in the roles of National Treasure, Ghost Rider 2, He's got a new movie, but if you're a younger person like me, Nick Cage for you is national treasure. And just him being Nick Cage in that and being so cool. And the fact that, Aaron Rodgers has a bust of him in his locker. And I've seen it. It's like a gray, like a gray bust. It's just so cool. It's so funny too because, a couple weeks ago when he arrived to training camp, he dressed up like Nick Cage actually, and I believe it was Con Air, or was it The Rock? I can't remember which movie, but he dressed up just like Nick Cage, with his long hair and everything. And I would imagine that Nick Cage has probably texted Aaron Rodgers like, "Yo, what's up, bro? Like, you dressing up like me now?" And then now, I mean, he has to have texted him or DM'd him something about that bust, because that was just so out of the ordinary and so such a funny sight to see that you almost couldn't believe it. I mean, when I got the notification this morning, I was like, "Well, this can't be real." I mean, he just dressed up like him from one of his movies, and now he has a bust of him. I don't remember where he said that he received the bust from, but it was just perfect. A perfect timing and perfect thing for him to receive is a bust of Nick Cage. Just perfect. You couldn't make up a story like that. It's just perfect. One last thing. This past weekend, I kind of got a little lit, and me and my buddies were playing a table game, not like a tabletop game like what those nerds play, but like a card game, right? Like a game where it's a game with your friends, kind of like Cards Against Humanity, but like not like that at all. But like the objective is to persuade a person who from running over your team to not run over your team. Like, so let's say like your team is broken up into each team is broken up into two, let's say train tracks, and that's what the game is about. Like a trolley is going down a track, and he has to go down one track or the other, and on one side is one team with a couple scenarios that they're dealt by the cards, and they have to argue their point over your cards. And it's just, so you pretty much whatever, the cards could be like, the track has a freshly born baby, baby just born. And then the other track has Adolf Hitler. And one side has to argue to keep Hitler alive, while the other side has to argue why the baby should stay alive. And there's also other cards too that also you could collaborate with whatever is else on your track. It's not just like 1v1, it's like a couple of other scenarios, and then there's these other cards that you can play to either make your case stronger or to make their case weaker. And it was a fun game. I mean, I gotta say, like, it was a lot of fun. It's hella fun when you're lit and you're just shooting the shit and saying whatever you can possibly say to make the side of your argument even stronger, and that way the conductor would not run over your side. I feel like we got robbed on a couple of points. Like, I feel like definitely like we had better argumentative points, but it also kind of depends on who's the conductor at that turn. And man, it was just so much fun. I just can't wait to play that again. I've been looking at games to get for these type of nights when we just get around and play a game. And there's this game that I saw on Amazon. It was called the Roast Your Friend game. And I was just that could be so much fun. That could be such a fun time to just play with your friends, have a couple drinks, and just roast the shit out of your friends. And I feel like you would kind of have to be a little buzzed to do it. Not saying that it's mandatory, but I feel like if you want to have the most fun with that game and not be, super offended. I'm not sure if the game is like, supposed to be make other people hate you. But I would think that a couple of drinks in you would make it a lot better. Make it more fun to play. That way you're a little bit on the loose side. That way you're more on the looser side, and you're not going to be taking it so seriously. Because none of my friends really have grudges or take things super seriously, or stuff like that. But like I feel like maybe you play one bad card, you say one bad thing, and it's just like boom, it's over. I also want to get drinking games, not like a not like a like a card game, not like a beer pong or anything like that, but like a game that makes you kind of drink more. Because whenever I do drink, some of my pussy friends just don't do it, and it's kind of a letdown. It's kind of annoying. It's just like, come on, guys. I mean, I don't want to be the only one drinking here. That way, I'm a fucking lit ass mess. I don't want to be that, So maybe I'll get a game where it kind of makes us all kind of have to drink at least a little bit, Don't get like maybe not get completely mashed up, on purpose, but like maybe a slight buzz, maybe just a little let loose, because if I'm just sick of these pussios just like not trying to get lit with me. And by lit, my definition of lit is like 2 beers, maybe 3. A good old fashioned like, oh, I'm lit. Not like I'm on fire, but like, I'm lit, that's it, nothing too, I'm not encouraging you to get like actually like mashed up where you can't move or you can't even speak. No, just have a little bit of fun, because when everybody's having fun like that, you can't really beat it. It's such a fun time. And I feel like with these games, it just adds to the fun. I remember we used to play Smash Bros all the time. I think that these games are just so much more fun because you actually have to talk with your friends instead of just like playing like a video game with them. And like, not to say like Smash Bros was bad or was boring, but at a certain point, it's like it just becomes the same thing. And these could too, for sure. That's why we got to get more games or more expansions to those games. Like Cards Against Humanity has had so many expansions because it's such a popular game and people play it so much. I haven't played it in like maybe 4 or 5 years, but like when we did play it, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, just a little bit of a new addition to having fun with the boys. It's hella fun. That's going to be it for me this week, guys. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Episodes drop every Thursday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. Share the podcast with all your friends and family. If you have a suggestion or a topic, you can always DM me. I have my links in the description of every podcast. That way you don't get lost or you're like, oh, how can I reach him? How can I talk to him? No, it's all right. They're all right there. It's fine. Just scroll down and there's the link right there with my username. You can just tap it and it sends you on your way. But anyway, guys, actually, hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to do this live on air. This might fail, but if it doesn't, I'll be very happy. So I'm going to go to one of my episodes. I'll go to last week's one, and I see my link that's to my Twitter. If I tap it, it brings up, let me guess, my Twitter page. Yay! So they do work. All right, so there's no excuse. If you have a suggestion, a topic, a question, tap on that link, DM me, and I'll consider it. I'll think if it's show-worthy, I will put it in. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week.